Hey everyone, good afternoon. It is Sunday, February 9th, as can be seen on this Tomoki calendar. It is 4-ish. The sun is about to go down, so hopefully the lighting won't change too much over the course of the video. But before we get started, I did want to just kind of let you know what I plan on rambling on about in this video. I think mostly just to give a quick update on the systems that I've been using. I think most people will know I'm still in my traveler's notebook, the Camel edition. I also wanted to maybe touch base a little bit on the micro5, so the M5 Ashford wallet that I've been in. A lot of people have asked me about that over the last week, how I'm using that together with the TN. And then I also wanted to maybe just do a little intro on this this little pouch. This is actually a travel organizer, or like a bag insert organizer that I got from Daiso for super cheap. Like, I think it was less than $5. But it's super great. It has all of these fun pockets, and I've really stuffed it to the brim. I think that, yeah, there's like a ton of pockets, and I'll kind of go through what this all looks like to begin with. And yeah, sometimes it's really funny. You know, you get all these like super expensive pouches, and at the end of the day, all you really need is something that's super functional. And yeah, that's why I kind of love Daiso. You'll see here that I have all my Coletto pens here. I also have a Uni Jetstream, which I can talk about, my Puccito stamps, and yeah, a few other fun things. And the goal really is, sometimes I move between I stay at this desk most of the time when I'm journaling, because it's actually right next to my bed. But sometimes I like to go outside, and you know, I foresee that I'll be going in and out a lot more once baby is here in 2 weeks. Or less. And I think, yeah, just having something super, I think most of all, I love that this has a handle, and not a lot of my pouches have handles. So I like that I can sort of carry this around as a purse. I mean, I also have pouches like this Atelier's Penelope one that I have right next to my desk as well. But the only thing here is, you know, this is just a straight up like bag. It doesn't organize anything in the middle. There's no sort of, there's like one small little zipper here for, like, I don't even know what I would put there. And so I usually just put the rest of the journals that I mostly like use once a day, my 5-year, and then my baby journal. I just put it by my desk. I don't intend to really carry this around anywhere. It's really just for organization's sake. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, let's go over what's inside of this pouch, because yeah, I think there is a lot to say about this. So this, again, this is the Daiso travel pouch. The thing about Daiso is I don't think they sell the same thing, across the globe, and so I can't say for sure that you'll have this in your Daiso. But yeah, I picked it up in mine. I think there are probably similar items everywhere we go. So the first thing is, I typically put my my micro5 wallet in here. I also have a date stamp, and also my TN regular. And then I also have in here my 2 sticker books, and then this roll-on. And I can talk through this in a second, but I just wanna, yeah, check that. That's great. So my roll-on is here, and then as we talk through the different sort of items in here, I basically have everything that I need to journal across this area, and this is great because this is like easily accessible when I set it on my desk. And so I have all of these keep markers and also one mild liner. I tend to like switch it up depending on my mood, and on my desk I actually just have a bunch of mild liners, and so whenever I feel like it, I just switch these in and out of each other. And then in here, I don't know why I need this, but I do have 2 Colettos. I have one actually attached to my wallet right now because I just stepped out and I carried this with me. Coletto, my multi-pen, so this takes care of my colored pencil needs. And then my glue stick, my glue. And over here, I also have my travel scissors. And then, yeah, just a ballpoint. So this is the Jetstream 4-in-1. I actually keep this mostly because I sometimes use pencil, and so this one does have a pencil attachment to it, and so that is super convenient. And then on these front pockets, so there's 2 big pockets where it's mostly pens that I put, and I don't really need to sort of like clip them really because I'm not like actually throwing this into a bag. It's really just staying at home. And then over here I have some stickies. So I have some neon ones, some small pink and blue ones, and I think these are Post-it notes. I believe these are from Daiso. And then I think I talked about this quite a bit as well, but I got some new Pochito stamps this week for a lot of my daily logging, and yeah, I just put them all kind of in the front pocket here. Because this is sort of like a mesh pattern, I can sort of discern what's in here. So I typically use the weather one a lot, and the this home one, or this like media one, and then I also use this home one a lot. So these 4 sort of take up the 2 main pockets. And then these ones that I don't, well, this is a baby one I haven't even started using yet. I'll probably use this soon. I have here, and then this one I have here. And so that's really the front kind of area. It's very, very, oh, and sorry, my Muji, I just figured I'd use this up. This is the Muji tape, glue tape, and actually it's really good. I like picked it out of some of items I was storing, and I was surprised by actually how good the quality was and how easily this went on a lot of my things. And then last of all, I did want to give a special shout out to this shiny number stamp. As you know, I love my mini dater. This is the classic mini dater S300. So this one stamps out the 9th of February 2025, so it actually has the month. What I've been actually really into recently is just showing the small number days. So it's 25/02/09, so that's like the short form date in just 6 numbers. So this is now my other option of stamping on dates, and I just think it looks super classic on different things. I think they can be used for different purposes, so I really like this one. And so this one stays on my desk, and then this one I just carry around with me. I just throw it in there. I wish there's a little bit more space in the front here, but yeah, I just toss it in here. And then at the back, a few more items. These are my washi tape samples, things that I use pretty often, so I just keep this in here. And then over here, I have a few more kind of sticky notes. I love these pita ones. This one, I don't remember. I got these in Japan. They're Frusen. I think they're pretty popular. I like stamping on them and sticking them in places. They fit perfectly, usually in like calendar areas. And then I just have 2 sets of Kita tape, and this is Kokuyo. So I have this stamp version, and then also this colorful washi version. And so yeah, I feel like I have things covered. And last but not least, I do have this pocket which stores some of the stickers that I think I want on rotation. So every Sunday I'm planning to just like give this a little refresh, ask myself if this is what I want. Because I do have a lot of stickers, and this week I barely used any because I do actually always immediately go for these first. And so, yeah, these are just here, and I'll probably refresh them tonight just to see if there's any changes I want to make. But one thing that I did set up over the week, and I think, you know, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see a reel that I just made about this. So I took some inspiration from some people I follow, stationery wise in Japan, and I took some of my stamps that I barely use just because, you know, I think stamps are just a whole other ordeal. Sometimes you have to take the ink out, you have to pick what stamp you want out of the hundreds of stamps that you have, or in my case, you know, maybe like 50. And so what I do have a lot of are stamps and sticky notes, and so using this Kokuyo memo pad or memo book, I have a couple of these in stock. And what's great is I'm putting some pre-stamped stickies on here, and I'm not actually using the book because these are just, it's really just used as storage. I can still use this book after I use it for this purpose because these are just sticky notes that don't permanently stick on this notebook. And so I have this, and I made a couple of sort of collage stamps. So this one was made out of a checklist stamp. This one, you know, I'm just getting a little creative. Maybe when I watch a film, I can just really easily pull a tab off here and put it in my notebook or my daily logs, or if I'm reading a book, I can just really easily pull this off. And so kind of trying to make these like themed ones and that are easier for me to access. This is like the food log one, shopping one, a nice coffee one. And again, I haven't actually started using any of these, but a very good thing, I think, an easily accessible thing to have access to as I'm carrying this around the house. And so that really kind of takes care of what is in here. And so I think we're going to probably move on then now to just kind of going through these books really quickly, if there's anything that's changed or anything that, that I'm doing differently. And so let me just give this a quick check. I think we are good on the, it's maybe shaking a bit because anyways, so let's see. All right, so the first thing I wanted to really kind of touch base on, and maybe I didn't touch base on this super in a detailed way in this last video, is my micro5. And so this is something that I see complements the TN. And what I mean by this is there are things that I do in here that are duplicated, but most of the things that I do just really help to kind of help me fill this in at the end of the day. So this, as you can tell, is a pretty chunky notebook. I try not to carry this around with me too much, especially as I'm only going out for lunch, or sometimes I do take it to work because I like the security of having it around me. But yeah, I think typically what I'm finding now is I do carry this around with me, especially because it is actually my wallet. So all my cash is here, and I have all my cards here. And so yeah, this has sort of become, and I kind of have to think through this a little bit more to explain how I use this in a little bit more detail. I might actually end up doing a written post about this as well. There's a lot of really helpful note.com posts about M5 usage that I may want to kind of bring over onto a note format on Substack perhaps. Anyways, on the left here I see mostly, and this is a cool version of the of an M5 because, quite different from the plotter, it actually has two sections that are removable, so I actually don't need both of them if I didn't want to, but I like the separation, and I mostly see this as the left hand side is like a log and collection place of like lists and stuff that stay here and I can have in here for a while. Whereas on the right hand side, I see it more of, and there's some things that I still need to move over, but I see this more of like a day-to-day. There's memos, there's book notes that I'm taking, and then at the end of the day when I'm ready to, I can transfer this information. This won't stay here forever. I transfer this to my the tea and refill that I have. That's kind of like my daily journal. So starting on the left here, every day I have a little log page, and this little log page is, you know, a very easy way day to day to log a bunch of different things. And for example, so every day I have, I think this is an Ashford refill, and I've also stamped my this breakfast, lunch, and dinner stamp. I pre-stamped a few. I have to do some more tonight. But every day I basically log 4 things, to-dos that I don't want to forget. Obviously I expand to like separate notes if I need a longer to-do. I'll expand to the back. But these are like the 4 things that I want to do. I log my sleep time, other health things, and then just like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So today I had pork, beef, rice, soup for lunch. And so yeah, so it's like really simple and just a really quick way to log some of my to-do, some of my health stuff on the left. On the other spectrum of things, I also put things like lists. So this is a grocery list that I need to, or shopping list that I need to attend to, and as you can see here, it's just a free refill, empty, blank. I just stamped the date, a grocery, like a shopping cart thing, and I used the clean color dot to make this to-do list. So super simple, super ad hoc, and super just, you know, make on the go. I've experimented with printing out my own, this is terrible, but printing out my own inserts, and this is before I knew anything about sizing or anything like that. And so I printed out what I need to pack for my hospital bag. I have also put punch holes in different sort of notes that I have that aren't really kind of loose leaf. These are things that I want to buy, little icon stands for bullet journal, a little finance like tracker in my project manager, and then just a archive of some of the last 2 weeks that, again, I might maybe after a week I might transfer this over into archive. As we're speaking through like sort of self-made refills, today I was working on a few sort of M5 things. I want to take this system a little bit more seriously, so I wrote down some notes that I think I'll share in a later video. I'm just really not ready to share that right now. But I started experimenting with making my own refill. So this is completely just totally made on Canva actually, and I kind of measured out the holes here following a tutorial, and yeah, this is actually, I measured it. It is the perfect M5 size. I got the Kokuyu business paper finally shipped to me, and I actually did a test on this Kokuyu paper earlier this week. This is self-cut refill. It wasn't like I didn't print it or anything, but as you can see, very, very little ghosting. And you know, I used stamps, I used dot markers, I used thick pens, I used fountain pens, and so yeah, it's performing pretty well. And so I do want to experiment. This is not really my style. I really just kind of found a few graphics. I probably will go for a much simpler tone, but I have to decide what that is and what that looks like. But I do like the look and feel of this, and I am going to print a few things. I also found, yeah, I think one thing I love is I like going on note.com and seeing what other people make. And so this, I forget which one I got this from. I'll leave the link below. But this is an interesting one that I want to also test out. Someone made this like a small to-do list and a day-to-day tracker. What I think again, I think the M5 is not for everyone. I don't think ring systems are for everyone. But one of the things that I did want to kind of stress is M5 might not be for everyone, just because the refills, in my opinion, are quite hard to get, especially if you don't live in Japan. It's not a very common size. I know Filofax has a few mini M5 sizes. Plotter obviously does, but again, not super easy to just like walk down the road and pick up as you would a traveler's notebook insert in any stationery store. So and even though I do still have a lot of refills, I think I have like refill anxiety or something that I think I'm gonna run out. So I did want to explore just having an option to make my own refills, or at least have access to refills that I can print on my own. And yeah, I do also have this micro5 punch from Ashford that is super neat and super cute, and has been really helpful in just stamping or making holes in anything that I want to stick in here. So as we just go through kind of this week's notes, as you can see, I kind of made a bunch of random ones. This is from February 2nd, where I just talked about things that I want to see, things I want to do, a Scrabble game, what I bought as a book. I even have my little Mark 6 ticket stamped. Just trying out a bunch of pens here, and then logging some health stuff here, and then random research on books that I'm reading on cybernetics. And then this is when I started using my new date stamp. Still more notes on the unaccountability machine, this random, Kikuyu paper test, winter labor class, and Sean wrote down some notes. And then back here I have lists that I'll probably then transfer to this side. It's my recommended books that are related to parenting, and then just some, I think this is my this is probably my little pregnancy section. Questions that I had during my pregnancy, notes on a book called Hunt Gathered Parents. So this I will probably transfer over soon. And then, these are 4 pages of notes that I just took as I was reading. And then a really funny note about Nothing Burger. And then again, another list that I'll probably move here, which is a list of short stories that I want to start keeping. And so I know that if I do want to read a short story, that I can refer to this and go find that short story. So that's really it. It is still me working out a bunch of kinks here, but it's getting closer to something that I really like and want. I do have these tabs here for easy access, because as you can see, I tab a lot of things on the side here. I also have this like open Polaroid section and a little neat section here that opens up like this. I have a bunch of little Stalogy stickers, and then a little divider that I just have some sticky note tabs on that I use once in a while, just to create a little more depth in my notes. And yeah, so this is the M5 that I carry around, and yeah, I love it. It's a very modular system, and even though this pen is a little too big, I don't mind that it sticks out on the bottom here, because it just has a lot of colors and I can switch easily between colorways here, which I'm a fan of. And then lastly, I know everyone wants to, or not everyone, I meant like a few people may want to see how my traveler's notebook system is developing over time. And honestly, I don't know if in my last one the video talked about this, but maybe I haven't, because I did a lot of these crazy experiments this week. But I moved a few things around, and in my front first pocket here, I actually made this out of a, what should I call it? It's the A4 holder refill that isn't large enough to fit an actual traveler's notebook refill, so I had to cut it up, do a little surgery on it, and I want to make this little stretchy note. And this is a little bit crazy, a little bit ambitious, I know, so let me like find a way to hold this down first of all. So this is me attempting to create a really funky system where I can refer to both the weekly and horizontal vertical at the same time. I'm still wondering why I need to do that, but in a way it actually is easy for me to then refer to, because I see this more as a planner, and so plans can change, this as a logger. I only write things here if I've done them. And so yeah, I just refer to this, refer to to-do lists that I have here, and kind of match things up. I don't always have it open like this all the time. One other fun feature about this area is I've created a little flap here as well, where I can put in these little tabs, and I'm essentially color coding without color coding this part exactly, just color coding the activities that I have here. So everything blue is a work task or work event, everything yellow is a personal event, and everything purple is health. I don't know if this is something I'll stick with. I actually do want to put things that I do often on a daily basis. I want to find a way to actually write it on these sticky notes, and then have a way to just let's open this up, just sort of like kind of move them around really easily from week to week. I also have this other idea of, instead of having sort of all my to-dos here like this, using the Baumkuchen organizer here. Let's see if this will work. So this is the Baumkuchen monthly or weekly. And so let's say I had a fresh one and it didn't have these tabs at the top. What I could do is make these little tabs and actually just kind of stick things on without committing to writing it, like kind of taking this out all the time and writing on it. And yeah, this section is a work in progress, but I like how kind of funky it is. I've taken a cue from some of my favorite journalers on Instagram and on YouTube. What I do have to do is really fix this. It does not look good, but I'm living with it for now. Otherwise, everything else is staying the same. I still have my insert at the back that I take out every once in a while to journal. I actually haven't had time to journal yesterday or the day before, and so I'm going to probably do a little long journaling section here. And yeah, I've been still trying to keep this very minimal, but I do have things that I probably want to transfer over. Like I mentioned, I do want to transfer over all my notes from reading Hunt, Gather, Parent, and a few other things, the unaccountability machine. I want to move that over here. And so yeah, I think these two systems just work in tandem with each other. One being that, something that is super easy to carry around and that I have to carry around because it's actually my wallet, this. And then I have this second system that I carry around maybe, when I really feel like I need the comfort of having everything in one place. And an extension of that, again, like I mentioned, is this bag. I will lastly say that I have also been really enjoying just having this roll-on around as like sort of this notebook that I take for random notes that I know I don't really need to keep necessarily, but I did a lot of like video planning here. I did a lot of pen testing, storyboarding, planning my techo kaigi. I mean, it's still really nice, I think, some parts of it, but sometimes I give myself leeway to just make a lot of notes. Same thing here. I was just sitting at a cafe and thinking about my TN setup video. Ooh, here's a little sneak peek at some of my Pouch Studio stationery pics. And then here is just me planning out some stuff to write about the M5 Ashford in my potentially pending Substack. But I think that is really it. I would love to hear from you to see, you know, if this was helpful to you at all. I sometimes feel like from week to week I might be repeating myself or showing you the same things, or, you know, maybe you've seen something on Instagram before and this may not be as interesting. I also would maybe want to explore just less talking videos and me just going through some journaling at like 2 to 3 times speed and maybe doing a voiceover over something, because yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel real if I'm like not actually sitting down to plan or journal while I do this. So in any case, would love to hear from you, and would love to hear if, you know, you've been thinking about or how you've been using your TN, if you have or not. I'm hoping I can still do some version of these videos even when baby is here, but I know probably that it won't be as often, and I hope you'll be patient with me. But otherwise, I am really excited to be able to keep making these videos week over week, at least for now. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So thank you for stopping by.